Bonjour, this is Miss Wright. I just wanted to give you a little taster of what to expect in GCSE French. It's something that will be quite familiar to you in some ways, and I'll point out a couple of the differences. So we're going to start off with something quite familiar to you, a slide with our date and our title. Tu as un régime sain ou malsain? Do you have a healthy or unhealthy lifestyle or diet? And this lesson is based on a program that was on a few years ago called The Biggest Loser, and they had a French version called Qui perd gagne, who loses wins. It's a reality TV program where the person that loses the most amount of weight wins the program. So cette saison, il y a des moments amusants. So this season, and then I think you can work out the rest of it. Il y a des moments amusants, des moments difficiles et des moments dangereux. So this exercise illustrates the similarities and the differences between your French up till now and what we all see in Key Stage 4 or for your GCSE. So we have got a match-up exercise which we're all really used to doing. However, the difference in Key Stage 4 is that sometimes, not always, you will come across longer texts that will be full of words that you don't know. Now, you're not expected to know all of those words, but the skill is to pick out the key words, those key bits of information to answer the question. So I want you to pause the video and see if you can match up the speech bubble to the correct picture. So we've got Elise, and she says, Je ne mange que du chocolat depuis la mort de mon chat. Now we won't understand all that sentence. It does actually mean I only eat chocolate since the death of my cat. So she's comfort eating because she's been grieving about her cat. Now, je ne mange que means I only. We know je ne mange pas, I don't. So that's a new word. However, you've got the word chocolat that you already know, so you can find the answer. Next one we've got je suis Alain. Now Alain, again, lots of words there that we won't know, but it says the word for drink is boisson. Now you probably didn't know that. However, you might have been able to look at the words 5 litres, 5 litres. So it's obviously going to be talking about some sort of liquid. Okay, so well done if you got that. Then we've got je m'appelle Agathe, and we've got le fast food. Le fast food, a word that the French have taken from us because they never used to eat fast food. So that's a word that is new to their vocabulary. And so we've got the picture of the fast food, which then means that you've got probably the hardest one, which is left over. But you also have the words activité physique, physical activity. Okay, some near cognates there. So well done if you managed to match up all 4 of those. And then we're looking again at who the participants are. So we've now put the names to the speech bubbles. So we're going to start to look a little bit more in detail of what they're saying. So we know Elise talks about only eating chocolate. She also says je ne suis pas en forme. Now it might be that you remember je ne suis pas, I am not. En forme means in shape. Okay, and again, something you might have been able to have a guess at because it's a synonym. We've got Alain. He actually says je ne peux pas rentrer dans la baignoire. He can't get into the bath, and it's because of him drinking all that fizzy drink every day. And then we have got Agathe, and she says my something is fast food. So again, we can probably have quite a good guess at that word there. Je m'appelle Pierre, je ne fais plus. So je ne fais plus, we probably know I do, and we probably know je ne fais pas, I don't do. Je ne fais plus means I no longer do. Okay, so he says he no longer does any physical activity because he broke a toenail. So this is us starting to look at a little bit more detail, and again, we don't need to be translating the whole thing. We still don't need to know every single word and be able to translate it into perfect English. But for us to understand and answer more questions on these texts, we need to be able to focus on a few more pieces of language. So Find French 4 is a really useful task because I can ask you to find the things that I think are probably the most useful that you don't already know. So again, pause the video and see if you can find those phrases. Now I think, if I'm right, they are in order of where they appear in the bubbles from left to right. Okay, so I'm highlighting now. Je ne suis pas en forme. I am not in shape. So well done if you remembered that or recognise that. Je ne mange que du chocolat. I only eat chocolate. I drink. Je bois. Now, when you're talking about the healthy eating topic, je bois is probably one of the hardest words, the most difficult verb, because it's an irregular verb. So je bois, I drink. One to remember for the future. Then we've got sugary drinks. And again, you might have found this because you looked to see where it says 5 litres and you've got 5 litres of. So well done if you found boisson sucrée. My weakness. Now we talked earlier, didn't we, about Agathe saying my something. It's fast food. So ma faiblesse. And then number 6, I am no longer doing. I did mention earlier, je ne fais plus. And you may well have got that anyway because you knew je ne fais pas. I don't do. So again, to focus in the most important vocabulary, this is something that we do all the way from year 7 upwards. Same sort of activities quite often in Key Stage 4 for your GCSE. We are not just doing big text, complicated things. We are carrying on the same kind of tasks that you are familiar with. So, je dois faire plus de sport. We need to match up to the correct English on the other side. You're used to doing this, so I'm going to ask you to pause and have a look to see if you can work out what matches what French matches with the English. And well done if you notice. So we've got the difference between I must and you should. This il faut is a funny expression. It's when you're talking about something in general, something that people should do in general. So you're not saying I should drink water, you're saying everybody should drink water. Okay, so je dois faire plus de sport. I must do more sport. Remember this word plus meaning more. And sometimes if it with a n in front of it, it can mean no longer. So this is a little complication, as we sometimes then get these words that are antonyms, that different words that mean the same word that means different things. Je dois rester en forme. We had that en forme, in shape. Il faut faire du sport. You should do sports. Il faut manger des fruits. You should eat fruits. Je dois manger des légumes. And il faut boire de l'eau. You should drink water. So we have a little reminder on this slide about how these verbs work in a sentence. So you have already done for future tense the 3 V's, je veux, je voudrais, je vais. Okay, so we've got je veux again, so you are familiar with that one. Je veux, je want to play. Je peux danser, I can dance. Je dois manger, I must eat. So, and il faut works in the same way as the second verb after it is in the dictionary form. So you'll have these little reminders all the way through, because just as in your years 7 to 9, you are not expected to remember everything straight away. We will keep looking back at things so we refresh our memories. And if you have time, you are more than welcome to have a go at this exercise, looking at filling in the gaps. And there's also a true or false exercise in the middle there. And have a little go now that you have looked at those texts. See if you can work out, are those sentences true or false in the middle? Complete the sentences on the left hand side and complete the sentences with either devoir or pouvoir. Okay, so if you've still got time, have a go at that, and the next slide will give you the answers. Thank you very much for listening and hope to see you next year. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.